Welcome to the Enva He Meant Company Music Podcast with your hosts KP and Ashton Thomas. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, everybody?
I'm Ashton.
And I'm KP.
And this is the Enva He Meant Company Music Podcast, the show made by music enthusiasts.
For music enthusiasts.
Y'all know what it is. And we back, and we're excited. We're happy to do another episode, coming at you with another one. And so a little while back, we just dipped our toes into D'Angelo's catalog shortly after his passing. But now we decided just to do a deep dive into his entire catalog, from his studio to his live album. So
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So I'm excited. So without further ado, let's get into it. So he released his debut album, Brown Sugar, in the year 1995, 30 years ago. So, my favorite songs on that are, of course, the title cut, Brown Sugar, Lady. That's always been one of my favorite songs. I just love the feel and, the key that it's the perfect key to have a song with that kind of feel in it. And then, of course, his cover, Cruising, baby, let's cruise away. I can't. I don't know why I tried to sing that, but
Action.
All right, don't be like Jay Sean on here. But just I love how he switched a lot of things up, because Smokey Robinson's his original is really real light, real intimate, real romantic, but D'Angelo, he kind of he put the hump in there, made it funky, made it bouncy. So I just love the drum beat on that cover by Cruz, and I love how he reimagined it differently from Smokey Robinson. So those are my favorite songs from the Brown Sugar album.
Yeah, deep cuts. Lady, of course, is also one of my favorites. It's such an incredible track. The bass line is the heart of the song, and there was a cool reel that was shared recently by Thundercat. He did this interview in 2020 or 2021, and he's just talking about being on tour with Raphael Sadiq, and they're playing this song, but he's playing it wrong. Can y'all imagine Thundercat playing a song wrong? And he was just like, I don't know, I've practiced it and everything. And so Raphael Sadiq one day took the bass and showed him that it was literally 3 notes in the entire song, and he could not even believe it, but he said it's just that much feel in the song, and either you have the feel or you don't. So I just thought that was such a cool story. Shout out to Raphael Sadiq and D'Angelo, just creating a masterpiece with that song. Honestly, when you just know it, dum 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 dum, come on, okay, it's just such a classic track. Next up for me would definitely be Me and Those Dreaming Eyes of Mine. I just love that track so much. It's just so jazzy and just so it's definitely, obviously, D'Angelo was the new birth of neo soul, right? It was our introduction to neo soul, for real. And that song just gave you gospel, it gave you jazz. It was just, not a lot of people talk about it, to me, as a standout track on that album, but to me it is just so top tier. And then When We Get By, it's just, it just sits in that groove. It's just, When We Get By is just an amazing song. Love that one. So yeah, those 3 just, absolutely stand out, deep cuts. And I know Brown Sugar, everybody loves Brown Sugar, so you don't even really have to talk about it much. The hip hop influence is there. He's talked about it before, from Native Tongues, Rakim, KRS-One. So it's just got that real hip hop influence in there. He threw some of everything in on this album, I feel like. So
then with the title cut, Brown Sugar, I think he got the perfect guy to produce that track, Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe Called Quest. So he definitely put his the magic touch on that. So yeah, that was and then to that dynamic, because Tribe Called Quest is all rough, rugged, and raw to your jaw, as Robbie Garcia says. But but Brown Sugar being with hip hop with the feels, and then to piggyback off the story about Thundercat playing Lady wrong, I'll say this: for us professional or advanced musicians, we have a tendency to overanalyze music when we learn it. Especially somebody of Thundercat's skill and magnitude on the bass. He could play bass halfway in his sleep. It seems like. So of course he would you would never think it's just 3 notes in a bass line. Never.
Exactly.
So I mean, you can't really blame him for not realizing that, but just but that just speaks to how a simple whatever could be such a huge hit. You don't have to make complex things for it to reach. Actually, this less is more, as they say. So yeah, but shout out to Raphael Sadiq for informing him on that, because I mean I would have never guessed that myself either. Especially as many times as
who
I heard
would
it. Right,
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Brown Sugar, his 1995 debut. And then one thing that I'm very happy about is, a lot of artists have what's called a sophomore slump. They have such a successful first album, and then their second album just absolutely pummels. I am very happy that did not happen to D'Angelo. If anything, Voodoo was the album that really skyrocketed him into the mainstream, not just with, R&B and soul and neo soul, whatever, but, you was hearing this stuff everywhere, even references on national TV, on sitcoms. Because like I said, the first time I heard "How Does It Feel" was on the Jamie Foxx episode when he was over Fancy's house. I guess fulfilling one of Fancy's fantasies or whatever. So he was, butt naked singing "How Does It Feel" with the fake braids in and all that. And I'm like, Jamie Foxx is a fool for that. But, oh man, so I mean, we talked about it in our short and sweet, but heck, why not go back into it? So for me, Spanish Joint, that's probably my all-time favorite song on that album, and I'll share the story again. The band that I used to play in, we were doing a residency out on the West Coast, and it was late, but we just needed to, decompress before we headed back. So we just went to a bar, just chilled out, met some people, and then all of a sudden, do 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 do. I heard that bass line come on. The song got further and further into it. The groove started happening. D'Angelo started singing. I'm like, whoa, because I recognized the voice, but I didn't recognize what song it was. So I pulled out my phone. I said to Shazam or Siri, "What song is this?" Put it up to the jukebox. Spanish Joint. Yeah, this is killing. So saved that, and that's been one of my favorites ever since. So yeah, Spanish Joint, Chicken Grease. And as I said, Sheree Reed, back in the early YouTube day, he put a cover of the song on his YouTube channel. And one thing that it was either YouTube or Facebook, one of the two. But one thing I was noticing was that his bouncing in his, because if you ever see Sheree Reed play, if he's really into it, you see his shoulders, bouncing up and down, and nodding his head real. I mean, it's very animated, but I love it. Sheree Reed is a beast. So he was getting into it, a lot of short staccato bass notes, and but it was killing. So I knew it was a D'Angelo song, but I never heard it. I never heard the original, so I did go back to listening to the original after that, and then that's been another one of my favorites. Now, The Line, I gotta say this. Shout out to my boy Eric Whitfield, high school friend of mine. He used to send us all kind of CDs of just I guess I want to say mixed samples. Where he would just sample random songs. Some I knew, some I didn't. This was actually the first time I heard The Line. But actually, one thing I noticed is that a gospel artist by the name of Charles Wolfwork back in like 2002 released a song called If You're Happy, which was on one of his albums. And it actually has that The Line instrumentation, just in a different key. So when I heard my boy Eric actually sample and put it on the CD, I'm like, wait, this was a D'Angelo song? So I went and listened to the original, and I'm like, man, this is amazing. So the line, and then I'll say this: "Send It On." Um, I'll admit that song kind of had to grow on me because when I first heard it, because it was really churchy. It really didn't have really R&B music as I knew it. It was very different. I'm like, yeah, I didn't dislike the song. I didn't hate the song, but I felt like you could actually sing that in church, really.
Yeah, because that's what I was literally going to say. I was like, "Send It On." I automatically loved it because it literally took me to church. I felt like it's like I felt like I was at like almost at a quartet program or in a blues club. It was a mix of the two. It was gospel and it was bluesy, and I knew right off the bat because my mama loved that song. So it took her to gospel and it also took her to blues, which is one of our favorite genres in my family. So Send It On was an automatic. I mean, send it up, send it through. Like that is church. Doom, 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 doom.
Yep.
That's church and that's blues.
To you, yep.
Yeah, so like it was an automatic yes for me. The breaks up in that thing, like what? That's church all day. Like I love how true he was to his roots.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure.
And then like I feel like Voodoo, he really took a leap, you know what I'm saying? Like he was writing, he was producing, he really immersed himself in this album with like the live instrumentation process. I even read from his engineer that they were using like tape, like 2-inch tapes and like, yeah, 100 and it was like, yeah, because if you listen to Untitled, it just stops abruptly, like because the tape ended. So if y'all go listen to that 7-minute song, it literally just stops out of nowhere and goes on to the next song. And they decided to leave it like that. Like it was just so, yeah, that album. So Send It On. Bluesy gospel feel, my top favorite off of there. I love his rendition of Feel Like Making Love. And if y'all know anything, a Roberta Flack song to take that and not, it's so hard when you take classics from somebody like that and then redo it, you automatically turn your nose up, right? And when you hear it from him, it was just like, oh my gosh, it was just so reimagined in the best way. It was like the most amazing, delicious donut, and he just added this most beautiful glaze on top. It wasn't like he took away from it. He just enhanced it in a way that was like, you knew it was his song, but you knew it was her song, and how, it was just, I could say so much about Feel Like Making Love. Yeah, so those three, Untitled, How Does It Feel, love that. It was just such it was like it didn't have that many words. It didn't need that many words, it was just such a feel-good track. Yeah, so yeah. How Does It Feel? Send It On, Feel Like Making Love, and then honorable mention would be Chicken Grease. I love the vibe of Chicken Grease. Like, it's just everything you want was on Voodoo, okay? Everything you needed was on. It was just such a black ass album. Let's just put it that way. Yes. Like it was a black ass album. You got gospel, blues, jazz, and you got some funk. You got everything you needed, a person loved was on that album.
Oh yeah. So shout out to Pino Palladino on his bass work on that album as well. We would be remiss if we didn't mention him.
Absolutely.
So would you believe that it was 14 years before he would release another album? So that brings us to Black Messiah.
Yes.
So I think my favorite all-time track is Betray My Heart. Which, so when that came out, I just loved it. We actually did a cover. I forget where or when, but it was like one of those one-time things where I was playing with like a cover band, and that was on the set list. I'm like, come on, let's go, let's get it. Like, we about to smash this thing, man. I was like so excited, like kind of like how Little Richard used to say, you know how your big toe shoots up in your boot. That's what did it for me. So yeah, Betray My Heart, and then Another Life. Another Life, that to me, maybe I know better, maybe I don't, but it gets that I kind of get the that Philly, that vintage Philadelphia, the sound of Philadelphia vibe, kind of like I know Questlove, he played drums on it, so I think that probably factored in a lot
Yeah.
with it, but yeah, it just has that real, it I don't know any better, but it was almost like he paid homage to the classic sound of Philly. I mean, again, I'm people, so Philadelphia natives. I don't know any better. I'm just putting it out there that's just the feel I get from it. With the key changes and everything that's going like just the overall mood of the song. It just took me back to that.
Like Black Messiah was just such a socially conscious, like it has so many social conscious themes, like the analog recording. He like even in 2014 he had took that big span, he was still set on analog. Like he wasn't going for nothing less than that. So like it was just so many deep cut tracks on there. The Charade. That's what I'm starting with. The Charade. I love like we just get so excited. But the Charade was just like, oh, he's back. Like it was just like, oh, like yes, like he's here. D'Angelo is in the motherfucking building. Yes. Okay. Love Charade. Another Life. In another, like I mean, I bet you, like I don't have really many words to say about it other than it's just like just a great track. Like it's just an amazing song. Betray My Heart, as Ashton said, another one of my favorites. Like it's just the feel, like you just in the car just like you just like, what is it? Like you just get so hype. Like you just shed some tears. I know I shed some tears when this album dropped, because if I'm not mistaken, this album dropped suddenly. Like it wasn't like he did a lot of promo or anything for it. We know that D'Angelo is never like a online person, anything like that. He never shared anything on social media or anything. And I remember it was late at night and I was sitting on my couch, and that's when I found out he had dropped an album. And I just think me and the rest of the world was just like, you just were taking a deep dive right then and there. And I want to say it was late at night, actually, too. But I literally remember where I was sitting and what I was doing when this album dropped. That's how you know something is special.
Oh, yeah. And then for me, actually, I mean, I should have known that something was about to shake, because back when I was living at home, we watched a lot of, I guess, Guitar Center sessions and a lot of these music documentaries and a lot of jazz festivals. And, D'Angelo, he started reappearing again all over music, music programs on television. And so I wasn't really surprised. But when I found out that was his first studio record since Voodoo, I'm like, man, that long? Because it was crazy. But D'Angelo, he definitely did not miss a step. If anything, it was just because Black Messiah, that was like Voodoo and Brown Sugar personified. Just like it could have been like a part 3 Brown Sugar.
Right. It was like part 1, part 2, and it was literally a continuation.
Yes.
Like you never felt like, oh, I don't know. Like you said, like there were never any slumps, and he took his time and he stayed true to himself, and he put out fucking masterpieces.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's just all you could say about his studio albums. And then talking about his studio albums, we would be remiss if we did not talk about one of my favorite albums, Live in London at the Jazz Cafe. Okay. Hearing that story, how that was like very sporadic. There are, if you listen closely to the album, like there's so many like imperfections in that, from like actual like them recording it to just them singing it, live it was literally what we talk about in creating moments, right? Like he literally created the moment. Like some of my favorites off that album would definitely be Lady. The piano solo in that song that he plays just brings me to tears every single time. The way the BGVs just hopped on every track and killed. Literally, it was like a choir almost on some songs. Like the build that they do was just like church. It was just like you felt like you was going to church. Like
So yeah.
he was just building every song. So Lady, Me and Those Dreaming Eyes live on there, and then his cover of Earth, Wind and Fire's Can't Hide Love.
Yes.
The way that man could like take a song from a great and make it his own, but also pay homage was just something to be studied, to be honest.
Yes.
Like when you do covers of people's songs, like you want them to feel like how I feel about every time he takes a cover. We're talking about Cruising, we're talking about Can't Hide Love, we're talking about Feel Like Making Love, all by the greats.
Yep.
And how you still like you love them. You love what he did with them. So those would be my three. Creating moments in that live show made it one of my favorite D'Angelo albums ever.
And so you were talking about background vocals. Wasn't Angie Stone one of them on
Absolutely.
that album? Yes, but I think to talk about the live at the Jazz Cafe, I actually saw him do Brown Sugar live in London that same year. I don't know if it was that recording, but just that intro, that
You saw D'Angelo live?
No. I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to freak out.
No, if I saw him live, like I would have put it all over social media. And,
Okay.
I would have been fighting to get backstage and get a picture. Like I would have done everything I could have to get a.
You're like, move out the way, bitch.
Right, yeah, to get a all access pass. Like yeah,
Okay.
and I'll say that too. Like and we can keep this going. I'll say that too. There's certain artists that if I ever see that they're going to be anywhere close, like driving distance and do a live concert, not only am I going to get a ticket, but I'm going to try to get some sort of all access pass to just be behind the scenes and just watch it from backstage or whatever. So and D'Angelo, he's definitely one of one artist that I would have, fought to do that for.
Absolutely.
So, but to talk about Brown Sugar Live from that album, just the intro of Brown Sugar on that. It was very haunting. And I'll share this story too. Like sometime after the pandemic, when I was going back to work, I don't know why I was doing this. I don't know if it was superstition or whatever. Like every Wednesday, right before I would leave my apartment and go to work, I would put on Brown Sugar Live from that album. I don't know why I was doing it. Maybe I thought. Well, maybe I thought.
Spirit led. Okay, come on.
I'm
The
saying
Lord
maybe,
led
you. Right? Yeah, maybe because maybe I was thinking doing that every Wednesday I would have a great day at work or whatever else. But it was just something that I did, and I really didn't have any logical explanation as to why I did it. But yeah, Brown Sugar Live from that album, definitely my favorite track. Pretty much the only track from that album. Shameful to say, from his live at the Jazz Cafe. Every Wednesday before I went to work, that was the only track that I was listening to at that time. I've listened to all the other ones, but yeah, that just did something to me and with me. So yeah, and then you got Made in America, the Made in America Festival, which was back in 2012, which he played all of his hits, of course, with a live band, because D'Angelo, he was, and I think we've said it before, I believe so, how we just appreciate his fortitude of having live instrumentation for every single show, like
every show.
I mean, obviously he felt the same way we do because he did it every show. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to tell y'all artists out there, what am I trying to say? I'm thinking
Have a live band.
Have a live band.
Have a live band. If at all possible, sell your left toe and pay them people so that you can create moments on stage, if at all possible. Like, we know it's not always possible as independent artists, but at this time, D'Angelo was a major artist. So I am talking to our major artists too, because like I've said before, I've seen some major artists as short ago as this summer who didn't have live bands, and y'all been out for 10, 12, 20 years, and y'all main
Oh yeah,
artists.
but as I was saying, like Right, and I guess you have to understand how you're literally cheating your audience out of the best experience possible when you don't have a live band. Because like you always say, KP, if you wanted to just hear a track behind some vocals, you can do that on your smart device. so so yeah, but definitely salute to D'Angelo for his fortitude of live bands and
Live
how
instrumentation, baby.
live instrumentation, whether it was a studio album or a live album. He definitely gave, everybody in the audience definitely got their money's worth, and every consumer of an album definitely got their money's worth as well. So yeah, the Made in America Fest back in 2012, and then the North Sea Jazz Festival back in 2012 as well, which
I still watch that.
oh yeah. Yes, and again, like I guess it had been 12 years since Voodoo came out. Oh yeah. So I'll say this. I'll say it like this. I really didn't know any better if D'Angelo was putting out any music before then or not. In the year 2012. But to see him on the North Sea Jazz Festival, that really did me well to see that he was that he wasn't retired,
Right.
because Voodoo, that was 2000, North Sea Jazz Festival 2012, and again he wasn't putting out any new music, so I'm like, almost like the Where Are They Now, but it wasn't that serious. I was too busy enjoying Voodoo and Brown Sugar still, so
Right.
Yeah, it was good to see him on that, and like you said, still listening to it to this day because live instrumentation and different arrangements of all those songs.
It's just amazing. And I would love if they would actually take that and turn it into a live album. Like how they do
yeah.
the Tiny Desk. Like
Yes.
if they could take his North Sea Jazz Fest performance and just like make it like a double disc or something.
You're right.
Like that would be so dope.
That would be
Oh
that
my
would be
gosh.
crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when
This
that
is one
came
of my
out.
favorite episodes to date.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's always great revisiting the work of a genius. Somebody as brilliant as D'Angelo was. 'Cause, I'll keep on saying it. There hasn't been an artist before or after that has done anything remotely close to what his catalog has been. And so, and
With
then
just his 3 albums.
with just 3 albums, like even so to the point, this one gospel artist, Montreal Derritt, he has a solo album called Chronicles of the Soul, and that thing is like D'Angelo imitation 100%.
Wow.
Every single track, even to the background vocals, which I do want to talk about a little bit because for me, maybe my ear isn't so keen as I may pride myself to be, but if you listen to a lot of the background vocals, even especially a song on the line, how the verses heard a lot of things, heard it all too clear. It sounds like it's only like a 2-part harmony, and even in the chorus, behold, hold on to my pride. It sounds like it's only like 2 notes in there. I don't hear a third note in there, but that's again.
Beauty.
But for me, my point is I don't know any other artist who did that before D'Angelo, or not even after. Like everybody loves, triad vocals or 4-part harmony or 5-part harmony, but 2-part harmony in a chorus, all throughout a chorus.
Right.
Like, come on, like that. That's nobody. Nobody thinks that way. Creative minds, like the saying goes, creative minds are misunderstood. And so it's kind of hard to understand why you would only have 2 vocals, but for D'Angelo to do that, or two parts in a chorus or background vocals, but for D'Angelo to do that, it's like it's cutting edge, really, because
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. I'm just happy we were able to like just pay homage to him in this episode and give him his flowers with just his genius. And honestly, today is the day that they're laying him to rest. The day that we're recording this episode, November 1st, 2025. It's a private celebration. I've read that Stevie Wonder was performing, John Mayer's performing, and that Barack Obama wrote a letter to be read during the ceremony. So yeah, like what better day to commemorate than to, do it on his day of, laying him down to rest. So
Exactly. Yeah. So, rest in peace, rest in power, D'Angelo. You will be missed, but never forgotten. As long as In Vehement Company is in existence, we'll be mentioning him to the cows come home. Even so, like I just thought about this, a lot of our guests have credited D'Angelo as their favorite, as one of their favorites, like Josh Modre. Pretty much almost every guest we've had on the show has shouted out D'Angelo as a musical influence of theirs.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show just the influence and impact that he's had on artists from all walks of life musically. So that's it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
yes. So rest in peace, D'Angelo. We love you.
Yeah, right. Yes. So this has been another episode of the In Vehement Company Music Podcast, the show made by music enthusiasts.
For music enthusiasts.
That's right. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.